Good morning. Nice to see you again in English Listening Skill 2 of Vclass01. Where are you? I'm now in Hanoi and it's very cold today. What about the place where you are living? What's the weather like there? Alright, so what are we going to do in this week class? As you can see on the slide, we are going to look at listening for specific information. Then we'll go to practice number 1, and then we'll move on to compound nouns, which is followed by practice 2. And next is prefixes, miss, this. And then we'll go to practice 3 and practice 4. Now, the first part is listening for specific information. Well, listening for specific information is a very common technique that you often apply when practicing listening as well as when you do it in real life. Listening for specific information is the common type of listening, especially in testing. Listening context, and you need to be prepared for it. The strategy needed for listening of this time is very much unique from other forms of listening. First and foremost, temptation in the minds of yours is to listen and understand everything. And this is the wrong view. And this wrong view may affect your listening because when listening to something, especially when you do the listening test, most of you just want to catch all the things which are spoken in the recording, and that will make your listening result not good. Here are the strategies for listening for specific information. The first strategy is to be familiar with the questions. The questions can help you in 3 ways. To get a general idea of the listening beforehand. The questions can be used as a springboard to get into the context of the listening, which could facilitate you in understanding the text in a better way. Well, this is why when you study listening lesson, the teacher often advise you to read the questions before listening. Why should you do that? Reading the questions is very helpful and useful for you in doing the test later. Because when you read the questions, you can get an overview of what you're going to do, what kind of questions you have to perform, and also you can get the general idea about the content of the recording. You can predict what kind of information you need to listen in order to complete the task. That would help to decide what to listen closely. You know that when you read the questions, you can prepare yourself about what you are going to listen to, whether it is a conversation, a talk, or an interview, or just everyday conversation. And in that case, you will be, I think, active and more confident. Also, you can use the words from the question in order to guide the listening. These words could help you to locate where you should listen closely. You know that when you do the listening task, you don't need to catch every word, and you don't need to understand everything spoken in the recording. Because sometimes the questions only ask you to catch certain kinds of information and details. And also the words that you read in the questions, or you can say that those are the keywords. The keywords are very important Sometimes you listen and you don't know where. You have to be very attentive in order to catch the answer. Maybe you understand most of the things, but you don't know exactly which is the most important knowledge you need in order to fill in the blanks or to answer the questions, and the words in the question may guide you, which are called the keywords. Do you understand what I said? Can you hear me? And now let's move on to the second strategy. The second strategy is related to the third point mentioned above. Even before you can listen to get the answers, you need to develop the ability to locate the places where you need to listen closely. Your listening to English can end up listening quite intensively to everything, which actually you don't have to. And sometimes, and not sometimes, but many times, you may catch a lot of things which are not necessary for the questions you have to answer. The third one is where you listen closely to the information in the locations identified. Sometimes the information that you're looking for might appear to them directly, but in some cases, things can be paraphrased. In that case, you should notice the paraphrasing. For example, when you do the detecting exercise, it's kind of you just listen to a conversation or to a text in which there are some missing words, and you have to fill in the blanks with the words. In this case, well, the things you have to fill in are spoken directly, but sometimes with the kind of fill in the blanks question. However, the text is not printed on the paper, but it is redesigned in kind of a form, a short form or a short text. Then you need to understand and you need to know how to paraphrase, because the thing which is printed on your test paper is not exactly the same as what is spoken in the recording. You understand what I mean? Now let's move on to the first practice one, in which you listen to conversations and choose the best answer. Here we have 5 conversations. This is a little bit the same as the class listening one.
Now look at the instructions for part 1. You will hear 5 short conversations. You will hear each conversation twice. There is 1 question for each conversation. For questions 1 to 5, put a tick under the right answer. 1. What does the woman order?
Are you ready to order?
The burger looks good. Does it come with anything?
You can have it with salad or chips. If you'd like both, it's a bit extra.
I'll do that. I don't mind paying a bit more. Now listen again.
Are you ready to order?
The burger looks good. Does it come with anything?
You can have it with salad or chips. If you'd like both, it's a bit extra.
I'll do that. I don't mind paying a bit more. 2. What size boots is the woman going to try on next? Do you have these boots in a bigger size? I've tried them in a 37, but they're too small.
Do you want to try them in a 38 or a 39? I can get them for you.
I think the 39 will be too big.
Okay. I'll be back in a moment.
Now listen again. Do you have these boots in a bigger size? I've tried them in a 37, but they're too small.
Do you want to try them in a 38 or a 39? I can get them for you.
I think the 39 will be too big.
Okay. I'll be back in a moment.
3. Where will the man get off the bus?
I'm going to the college. Where should I get off the bus?
There's a stop by the supermarket and another next to the park. They're both near the college.
I've got plenty of time, so the stop by the park is best. I can go for a walk first before I go to the college.
Okay, I'll tell you when we get there.
Now listen again.
I'm going to the college. Where should I get off the bus?
There's a stop by the supermarket and another next to the park. They're both near the college.
I've got plenty of time, so the stop by the park is best. I can go for a walk first before I go to the college.
Okay, I'll tell you when we get there.
4. How many books does the boy want to borrow now?
This is number 4.
Can I borrow these 3 books, please?
Let me see. You have already borrowed 6 books, and you can't borrow more than 8.
That's okay. I have 2 books to return as well.
Okay. Please return those books first before you borrow any more.
Now listen again.
Can I borrow these 3 books, please?
Let me see. You have already borrowed 6 books, and you can't borrow more than 8.
That's okay. I have 2 books to return as well.
Okay. Please return those books first before you borrow any more.
5. What job does Mark's brother do? Mark, does your brother still work at that expensive hotel?
He's still there, but he's not a receptionist anymore.
Really? Why not? He was really good at it.
I know. He's a waiter at the moment, and he hopes to be a chef one day because he really loves cooking.
Now listen again. Mark, does your brother still work at that expensive hotel?
He's still there, but he's not a receptionist anymore.
Really? Why not? He was really good at it.
I know. He's a waiter at the moment, and he hopes to be a chef one day because he really loves cooking.
Okay, so you have finished listening to practice 1, and I've seen some of you send in your answers. Thank you very much, Thu Lý Tiến Dũng. Yeah, thank you. Only 2 of you. The same you. Okay, both of you have the similar answers. Maybe you copy from each other. Did you copy? Alright, this is the key, and see if you have the same as mine. 1C. Okay, 2B, 3B. Oh, 3. Sorry, let me see. 3, what's that? Three C, okay, 4A and 5A, and Thu Lý, yeah, Lý Thị Thu or Thu Lý Thị Thu, you have the same answers with Zoom, and both of you have the similar answers to mine. Thank you very much. And now let's move on to another item that is compound nouns. This is related to vocabulary. At the end of the test, okay? So as Thu has requested, you should give out your answers at the end of the test after you finish listening twice. Okay, so do not send in your answer immediately after each question. A compound noun is one that is made up of two or more words. Most compound nouns in English are formed by nouns modified by other nouns or adjectives. Compound nouns can be formed by using the following combinations of words. S, that is possessive, for example, Julie's desk. One noun used as an adjective, head office. Phrases with, for example, director of communication. Compound nouns forming one word, like bought, room. There are three forms of compound nouns, open or spaced, as in tennis shoe, hyphenated, as in six-pack, six-pack man, a six-pack man. Closed or solid, as in bedroom. So they have three forms of compound nouns. Now, just match from 1 to 5 words from A to E to make different compound nouns, please. This might be too easy for you. Oh, you got the answer right. 1C, customer satisfaction. 2E, sales logo. Are you sure? 3A, songs person. Oh, what's this? Is this your answers for compound nouns? Lead to, sorry. You want to review it? C, E, sales logo. E, sounds body. Oh no! I expected that this would be a simple one for you, but actually, maybe you're confusing. You have some confusing answers. Okay, let's move on to the answer. Customer satisfaction, pleasure. Salesperson means a person who works in sales. Yeah. And Sons logo, Sons is the name of a company or organization. Film studio, yeah. And human body. All of you are correct with human body and customer satisfaction. All right, now let's move on to practice 2. You will hear some information on the radio about a summer music school. Answer the following questions in short form. And this is the kind of listening item that you may meet in your next exam, in your listening to exam. You might. Okay, so let's practice it to be familiar with this time of task. Sales body? Oh no. Salesperson, human body.
Now open your question paper and look at part 1. You will hear some information on the radio about a summer music school.
We are pleased to tell you that this year there will be a summer music school at the Arts Centre. Classes at the summer music school will begin on the 5th of July and will go on until the 30th. The school is open to young people between the ages of 8 and 17. There will be classes in piano and guitar. And have you ever wanted to play the drums? Well, you can learn at the summer school. The teachers are all really excellent. There will be classes every morning from Monday to Friday, beginning at 9:15 and finishing at 11:45. It doesn't matter if you have never had music lessons before. Beginners are welcome. Students will only have to pay £3.25 a day, or £15 for a week. For more information about the classes, or to book a place, phone the Arts Centre on 217 3881. So, that's the Summer Music School, a great place to play music and make new friends.
Now listen again. You will hear some information on the radio about a summer music school.
We are pleased to tell you that this year there will be a summer music school at the Arts Centre. Classes at the summer music school will begin on the 5th of July and will go on until the 30th. The school is open to young people between the ages of 8 and 17. There will be classes in piano and guitar, and have you ever wanted to play the drums? Well, you can learn at the summer school. The teachers are all really excellent. There will be classes every morning from Monday to Friday, beginning at 9:15 and finishing at 11:45. It doesn't matter if you have never had music lessons before. Beginners are welcome. Students will only have to pay £3.25 a day, or £15 for a week. For more information about the classes, or to book a place, phone the Arts Centre on 217 3881. So, that's the Summer Music School, a great place to play music and make new friends.
Alright, so I think it's quite easy for you. Number 1, the 5th of July or the 5th July. Or it's better if you write the 5th of July. Okay, no problem. You're welcome. Cao Tiến Dũng. Yeah. And number 2, the 30. Oh, 50 of July. There's no such a date. There's no, the 50. Yeah. But the 30 of July. 8 to 7 years old, but not 15, because yesterday when I listened to my laptop, the speaker of the laptop was terrible. It was almost broken down, so I couldn't hear it clearly. And the number 3, 8 to 17 years old. And number 4, the classes that you can study here is piano, guitar, and drums. Yeah, also drums, not only piano and guitar. On which days can you go to school? From Monday to Friday? From Monday to Friday. Very good. Lý Thị Thu, yeah. And next, number 6, at what time do classes? 11:45 a.m. And how much will the student pay per week? £15, not 50. And what you do if you want more information about the classes, you phone the center 217 3881. Yeah. So I'm sorry for the answer of question number 3 and number 4. Actually, I didn't catch it yesterday because of the poor speaker. 8 to 17 and question 4, the piano, guitar, and the drums. Okay. Alright, you're welcome. You have very good, I think, listening skill at this level. Thank you. Now let's move on to prefaces of this, and miss. In this part, you'll learn the word disappear, a word made by combining the prefix this, meaning not, with the verb appear. It is placed at the beginning of a noun, verb, or adjective to make the word negative. And the prefix miss. The prefix miss means bad or wrong. Miss is combined with many words to form other words in English. Now please use the prefix this and one of the words from the box to complete the definitions. You have agree, like, appear, believe, honest, and connected. Dislike, disbelieve, believe, tín ngưỡng, yeah, E, but not I, after B. Disagree, disconnect. Right. Oh, new one, newcomer. Diệu Hiền, yeah. Nguyễn Thị Diệu Hiền, yeah. Welcome to class. Where have you been? Thank you. And this is your answer. Number 1, dishonest. Number 2, disappear. Number 3, disbelief. Number 4, dislike. Number 5, disconnected. And number 6, disagree. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry I can miss it. You can do it at home. And let's move in to practice number 3. Listen to Susie talking to a friend about a new shop. Choose the best answer. You have 5 questions with 1 conversation between Susie and his friend, and they are talking about a new shop.
Now look at part 3. Listen to Susie talking to a friend about a new shop. For questions 11 to 15, tick A, B, or C. You will hear the conversation twice. Look at questions 11 to 15 now. You have 20 seconds. Now listen to the conversation.
A new clothes shop opened in the town last week. I went there yesterday and I'm going back again today. Do you mean the one near your college, Susie? That's been there a long time. In fact, they're opening another one in the shopping centre. The one I'm talking about is across the road from the newsagents. What does it sell? It sells shoes and boots as well as clothes. The only thing missing is bags. What time does it open? It's normally open from 10 till 6, but it stays open until 8 p.m. on a Thursday. So, is it open every day of the week? I'd like to go on Tuesday.
That's fine. The only day it's closed at the moment is Monday, but it will open every day if it's popular enough.
Oh, okay. I'm looking for some work. Do they need any staff?
Yes, they need shop assistants. The sign in the window says, if you are interested, go in and talk to the manager. Don't phone, because they're very busy.
Oh, great. I'll just write that down. Thanks, Susie.
Now listen again. A new clothes shop opened in the town last week. I went there yesterday and I'm going back again today.
Do you mean the one near your college, Susie?
That's been there a long time. In fact, they're opening another one in the shopping centre. The one I'm talking about is across the road from the newsagents.
What does it sell?
It sells shoes and boots as well as clothes. The only thing missing is bags.
What time does it open?
It's normally open from 10 till 6, but it stays open until 8 p.m. on a Thursday.
So, is it open every day of the week? I'd like to go on Tuesday.
That's fine. The only day it's closed at the moment is Monday, but it will open every day if it's popular enough.
Oh, okay. I'm looking for some work. Do they need any staff?
Yes, they need shop assistants. The sign in the window says, if you are interested, go in and talk to the manager. Don't phone, because they're very busy.
Oh, great. I'll just write that down. Thanks, Susie.
That is the end of part 3.
Thank you very much for your answers, Thu and Dũng. And this is the key. Number 1C, 2B, 3B, 4A, and 5B. Oh, it seems as if you have the key because you have the exact, perfectly exact answer. Thank you very much. Do you need to listen to any piece of the recording again? If no, we'll continue with practice number 4 and also the final practice for today's Vclass, in which you'll hear a man phoning about a flat he wants to rent. Listen and complete the questions below. And I would like to remind you that when you do the listening to examination, you will come across this kind of task. And it may be a little bit similar. It's not this short like this, but it's longer with maybe 10 missing words, for example. And you should be careful because sometimes the task requires you to write no more than 2 or 3 words or 1 number. And so you should be careful with that because some examinees, they just write anything you can hear to fill in the blanks, but not only 2 or 3 words. So you should be aware of that. This is not kind of dictating task. For the dictating task is much easier, but for this one is a little bit more complicated. For this one, at the level of A2, for example, is not that difficult, but sometimes you may have come across the more complicated one than this. And what should you do with this kind of task? Of course, as we just reviewed earlier about listening for specific information, you have to read the questions first, the task first, and you just bear in mind what you're going to listen to. For example, in this, you listen to a man phoning about a flat he wants to rent. And then you read the questions and you have to identify what kind of or what pieces of information you have to catch in order to fill in the blank. For example, number 16, price of flat, so it must be the number of price. Then number 17, how far from station, and with minutes, so it must be a number of minutes. Then number of the bedrooms also number. And furniture in flat, you have to fill in the name of some furniture. And number 20, day to see flat. Of course, that is the day was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, etc. Now let's move on to this.
Now look at part 4. You will hear a man phoning about a flat he wants to rent. Listen and complete questions 16 to 20. You will hear the conversation twice.
Hello. I'm calling about the flat that you have to rent on Green Street.
Oh yes, 25A Green Street is a lovely flat.
How much is it?
Well, it was £875 a month, but the price has gone down, so now it's only £825. That's a great price.
Is it far from the station?
You can walk there in 15 minutes, or there's a bus which takes just 5 minutes.
Great. How many bedrooms does it have?
There are 5 rooms in total, 2 bedrooms, a living room, a bathroom and a kitchen.
It's quite big. Does it have any furniture?
There's a really nice table and a sofa, but there are no beds.
That's not a problem. The flat sounds perfect. Can I go and see it?
There are people living there at the moment, but they're leaving on Friday.
Okay. I can meet you there on Saturday.
Monday's better for me.
Perfect. See you then.
Now listen again.
Hello. I'm calling about the flat that you have to rent on Green Street.
Oh yes, 25A Green Street is a lovely flat.
How much is it?
Well, it was £875 a month, but the price has gone down, so now it's only £825. That's a great price.
Is it far from the station?
You can walk there in 15 minutes, or there's a bus which takes just 5 minutes.
Great. How many bedrooms does it have?
There are 5 rooms in total, 2 bedrooms, a living room, a bathroom and a kitchen.
It's quite big. Does it have any furniture?
There's a really nice table and a sofa, but there are no beds.
That's not a problem. The flat sounds perfect. Can I go and see it?
There are people living there at the moment, but they're leaving on Friday.
Okay. I can meet you there on Saturday.
Monday's better for me.
Perfect. See you then.
Oh,
That is
I
the end of
see.
part 4.
Yeah. I've seen answers sending from Cao Tiến Dưỡng and Lý Thị Thu as well as Diệu Hiền. Thank you very much for your answer. Maybe, do you have the similar ones? You have bedrooms. Oh, why bedrooms? Number 18? You only need to write 2. The number 2 or the word 2. You don't need to write the word bedrooms, okay? 2, that's enough. If you write the bedroom and Nguyễn Thị Hồng Tuyết, yeah, the newcomer, if you write the word bedroom as Hồng Tuyết, bed, then dash, then room, then you may lose the mark in this because of the misspelling. All right, and this is the key. Number 16, £825 a month. Yeah. Number 17, 15 minutes. Number 18, 2. Number 19, sofa. And number 20, Monday. All right. So thank you very much for your answer. Oh, your answers are perfect. Yeah. Thank you, Tiến Dưỡng. Where are you from? Are you from the north of Vietnam? Goodbye, all of you. Do you have cold weather today? It's cold in Hanoi. Very cold. You can feel me and you can see what I'm wearing. Ah, you're from Thanh Hoa City. I'm from Thanh Hoa City too. I used to study in Lam Sơn High School in English gifted class. Yeah, between 1995 and 1997. Oh, really? Which class did you study in? Math, physics, or chemistry? Or literature? Biology. Okay. In which period? From? Maybe you are much younger than me. I was born in 1979. You're much younger than me, from 2005 to 2008. And who used to be your form teacher? A biology teacher. I don't know much about biology teachers in Lam Sơn School, but English, literature, and math I know. Mr. Hưng used to be my math teacher, and Mr. Bien, my English teacher. Yeah, you know them? Maybe Mr. Hưng, he used to work as the deputy director of high school, of Lam Sơn School, the later time. Well, by the way, yeah, thanks again for your attention, for your listening, and for your joining the class. And see you again in Vclass number 2. Goodbye. Yeah, bye-bye.